We're back again with It's Time podcast
Yes,
with Sam Nunez.
Goddamn Sam.
And Christopher Lopez.
Already. Man, we back in the building, man.
Yes,
It's been a
we
little
are.
minute. We kind of took a break. How y'all feeling today, though?
I'm feeling good. I feeling busy as usual.
Right.
I feel like I'm in my stride and I'm making progress.
Yeah. I feel like I just been, everything been moving smoothly for me. I said I was going to be proactive today, so I got dressed like very early. I was just been working in my clothes, waiting on when it's time to get to the podcast. So, yeah, everything is moving smoothly on good track right now.
Nice.
Nice. You know, it's you know, you were saying right now, you put your clothes on, you get everything ready, you get yourself organized. It's basically getting more organized and preparing for the day and everything.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, like I was telling one of my partners, she was like telling me like, hey, we got to make sure we have everything all ready. We got to be like, hey, I'm on it. You know, I'm on it. So, you know, one thing I know with you, you know, you're always on your game, you know, and it's like, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's go, you know. Yeah. And one thing I believe in doing this is it's always being on your game. And sometimes we have to stop and we got to realize, hey, okay, it's good to be in your game, but sometimes you gotta just calm everything down to reset yourself, because you can be going, and then we're just like, okay, we're just going for what now? It's like we lose track. So It's like a reset that we got to do sometimes, and that's one thing that I believe in.
Yeah,
know, so.
Definitely. So what our topic today is deep work.
Deep work.
Yes.
Yeah, I was reading a book called Deep Work. The author is called Cal Newport, I want to say. And he basically just talk about how getting into that deep work is still important in the industry, because the only way that you can perform deep work is letting all the distractions out, basically focusing, channeling in, removing the distractions from your life. And I see with my line of work is like, in order for me to do great projects like movies and let's just say editing a video, it takes deep work, because it takes a long time, and deep work is basically just sitting there and you're not focused by social media, you're not worried about no emails, checking no phone calls, you just pretty much just let your just sink into your creativity. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like this.
And when you talk about deep work, like how many hours of deep work do you do?
That's the thing about deep work. It's letting yourself be off the grid for hours to focus on this one project.
And it has to be enough time where you can finish something that's productive, where you can start going out and hustling again.
Right.
I feel like you got to sit. You can only hustle so much. You can only go out there and shake so many hands, talk to so many people before you have to sit down and, okay, all the information I have now, what do I do with this? How do I push this and make this progressively go forward? Because a lot of times we have all these great ideas and no action behind it. But the deep work that you do is to define what you've learned. And now you move things and you set your chessboard, and now you start making moves and doing all those things. Yeah. So deep work puts you. I always think about deep work as like putting together your pieces on the board for a chess play, for a chess game. And once you do that, you start moving again, and then you lose, or you gain an advantage, or you win in that scenario. Then you go back and you reset, and you do it again.
Right.
You do it again.
Because what we mainly do is shallow work. Shallow work is just to post it on the Instagram, getting the instant gratification from it. But the deep work will have you in that point to where you actually creating something in the dark. Everybody wondering where you at, but you actually creating this here. And then once you get it and you come out with it, now it's time for the shallow work, and you giving it out to different people, and you getting your response. But your responses is way more overwhelming because of you taking the deep work. Like, I know it's plenty things I do. Let's just say like vlogs, everyday vlogs. I wouldn't consider that my deep work. I feel like that's something to keep the company going, keeping the people attention. But when I drop out a movie or something, that's something that's gonna, like you say, take you towards that further on a whole nother level.
Right.
But that shallow work it's just little steps. The deep work gonna be like, you
know, you're talking about the deep work. In my industry, it's like when I'm in my work, it's like I'm there for hours. And with my partner, she's like, all right, so, you know, we got to brainstorm, we got to do this, and we're just focused so much in creating like manual books of how to perform and how to become, you know, better than we were yesterday. So, you know, one thing that in my industry, it's more like, okay, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and we're so intense in hours. And I was talking to you earlier today, I was like, man, sometimes I don't leave my office like almost 10:30, you know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I had to bring my son and just do his homework here and do stuff here. But the deep work that I have, it's so intense where we're like, okay, how can we perform and how can we share the knowledge that we know to share to the individuals that are managers, our regionals, our directors in our organization, and say, okay, how can we deliver and make their work more efficient. You know, just not to make it hard for them, but become more efficient for them. Right. And we're working on our other competitors. They don't know what's going on. What's I'm doing? What's this and that? Yeah. What's the next move? You know. So when we get this information, that all the work that we put into is like we give it to them. But believe it or not, guys, I get to a point where we get so deep into it where I'm mentally exhausted. Yeah. You know, literally, like it's like I feel like I ran a marathon and everything.
And that's what they say you're supposed to feel like that, though. If you don't feel like you burnt out at the end of the night, then you really didn't do no work. Like you just go to sleep and just got to sit there and try to make yourself go to sleep. Like every night I get into bed, I'm going to be...
all right, so put like this: if anybody's out there and they're doing some deep work, and you don't come out and feeling that exhaustion, where like, man, bro, I just need to just go to sleep and just relax. Then you didn't do some deep work.
You didn't do.
You didn't do it, man. You didn't.
But I think it's also doing it with purpose too. It's like if you do this, if you do this deep work with purpose, and you have a definitive goal, and you're defining everything that you're doing with purpose, and then you on the backside of that, like. You're going to be exhausted, but your people are going to be better off for it because you're setting them up for success.
Yep. Right.
You're like, hey, I need you to run 50 feet this way. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And you're not taking on all that work yourself. Like you're planning to hand it off. Right. And you have to hand it off. Like a lot of people just want to like, oh, I'm the sales guy in the company. I'm the CEO. I'm the administrator. I'm the finance guy. Like I tell people all the time when they're doing this stuff, I say, okay, you sit in this room with no cell phone, nothing, and I want you to grow your company.
Right.
And they're like, well, no, I got to be there. I've got to do all this stuff. And I'm like, well, you can't scale that. All your beautiful planning and all your beautiful dreams and all the things that you want to do, if you can't do it by sitting on the phone, like giving your guys direction with no phone, no communication, nothing, and they can't do it because they don't know your vision, and you haven't laid out the foundation for them to do that and move forward, then you're not growing a company. You got a job.
It's creating the manual book. Yeah. It's creating that book that's why. Look, this is what I've seen a lot, and I'm guilty of that too.
I am too.
I'm that's very guilty. I am guilty.
We know.
You know, I'm guilty. So what I'm talking right now is I'm guilty of doing this. But
we all.
But I've learned within the process and seeing things of growing in the industry that I'm in right now. It's like, hey, you want to duplicate yourself. You want to get your guys more efficient. Okay, create a manual book. Teach them, show them the vision, like you said right now, show them the vision of your company, okay? And that's what we're talking about, the deep work. You have to jump in and really analyze it to the point where it's so detailed. So when you share this with your people, your organization, it's like now they see like, oh, okay, now I know what Sam wants to be at. Now I know, okay, now I know where we're going. And then when you start showing them the results, they start believing more like, bro, I'm doing a lot better now than I was month, 2, 3 months, 4 months ago. So deep work goes in showing you that, hey, you know what, you have to go deep. And what I mean deep is really break down to give back to your organization or your beats or the things that you do and everything, stuff like that.
Yeah, creating a system pretty much.
Yeah.
So leadership is like, I always term leadership as providing purpose, direction, and motivation.
Right.
And then that's a vision, right? Yeah. So I always have engaging conversations with my people or with my leaders about things that I might not be in their lane, but complement their lane. Like, here's the vision of the company. This is what I'm thinking. This is where we're growing. This is the deals that I've done. This is everything that we have going on future. This is what you're building yourself up to. This is why I have you running around the block 3 times and, doing 50 jumping jacks and doing all these other things. Like, here's the reason why you feel crazy. And a lot of times when I tell people, when I get ahead of it, because they're already, I know they're already feeling it because I have them on a roadmap to go somewhere. And I bring in more understanding as they progress in their. I don't want to overwhelm them. I want them to progress in a vision by constantly showing the vision and work that I'm doing on my end. Not to validate that I'm doing something, but to show like, hey, like I'm working on this vision. I'm actively engaged. This is what I found. This is what it looks like now, and constantly feeding that to them so they can progress and grow that to the highest levels. Right. And then you bring in quality people that are better than you to do these type of things. Yeah. Like I'm trying to find like the Wozniaks of real estate, like the Wozniaks of of real estate tech.
Let them know who Wozniak is.
Wozniak is the guy who helped build Apple.
Yeah.
Like Steve Jobs was. I would be like
yeah.
the Jobs guy.
Wozniak was the brain. No.
Wozniak was the
Steve
brain.
Jobs
Created
was
the
the
computer.
brain.
Yeah.
He's the visionary.
The visionary. I'm sorry, visionary. And Wozniak was the brain.
Yeah,
Right.
Wozniak created the computer.
The whole computer.
But
yeah.
you need both, and both should be respected as equal.
Right.
But you need 100 Wozniaks to one Jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
and you have to be able to step in a visionary role and to scale and understand and do all the work that comes with that. And you don't know what all that is until you start doing it. Yeah. You should. Every day I look at my phone log, and we were just talking about this because I was with a friend and we were traveling and doing all this stuff. He's like, "How many phone calls do you take a day? This is insane." So every day, if you scroll up from top to bottom on an iPhone, the whole list is like one day. The whole entire list is just one day of calls.
Right.
Every day, 7 days a week. I'm burning through this stuff. But I'm not just taking calls of these are calls of growth. When I'm not in a stage of growth and I'm in a stage of sustainment, those calls go away. That's when my deep work comes into play. And then when I'm back at it and doing,
The phone's jumping
again.
Yeah.
But I'll completely, again, when you go silent from everything, and it's not that I'm not taking calls, it's just I'm taking calls that are very, that align correctly with the work that I'm doing. But when I'm trying to go out there and resolve and find problems, find, good solutions for growth, it looks different.
Yeah.
And you just got to find out what that stride is that looks for, like, in you and your company or your venture, to go out there and find like that battle rhythm that's going to put you in a way to grow and be successful.
Yeah. Like they tell you, they say, I dare you to go ghost for about 6 months or go ghost for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And then when you pop back out with what you've been working on, you'll see a whole different type of reaction to your post on your Instagram. I seen it even with my business recently with December to January. I really wasn't posting too much. I just was just working under the radar, and I got a few projects right now I'm just working on under the radar. But once they come out, I know the impact is gonna be crazy because these projects are taking me hours to do. Like, I can't just whip them together like a vlog. Like, I gotta sit there and actually focus on this. And my main thing I use now is my hourglass. I got an hourglass, so basically when I flip the hourglass, that means don't touch the phone or touch the cell phone. You can't peek in and see what your ats is. You can't peek in on your email. You can't do nothing but just sit here on this. And that's like how I train myself, because we in the age of distraction. Like, everything check your phone, check your phone, check your phone. So it's like now, once I hit that hourglass, and it also puts you in a point to where you also blocking out your kids. You blocking out phone calls from everybody. So it's like, I look at it like this here. I can't have an hour of my life to just me, not worry about nobody doing nothing, worry about no emergencies or nothing, just an hour. And if you could take that hour to yourself to just say, this is for me.
Yeah, it's an hour of power.
Yeah, hour of power. Exactly.
That's a good one. Hour of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, really, if you really want to get deep, some people will sit up at the computer for 2-3 hours, but, I got
there
kids.
all day. The computer's like my toilet. Right. The guy who runs to the toilet, I'm on a computer just like...
Yeah, so it's like, but me having kids, I can't do it 2-3 hours. But I feel good after that hour, because I was like, wow, I sat here and I didn't look at this phone for, because I know I'll be sitting here and that just, your hand just does it. Automatically go to the apps.
It's like an addiction. That's what it is. It's an addiction.
You gotta shake it. You mess around and grab it, hit your
yeah,
hand.
Talking about that. Actually, I had this conversation with my partner. She was like, "Man, we need, when we talk about business, we just put that phone away." And even she was saying, "I gotta put this phone away." Because, like you said, this attracts you. It's so much. It's like we're like, man, I want to see who's texting, or what's in Instagram, or what's in Facebook, or whatever.
Thing about it too is, some things could be triggering. So you might have your mind and thoughts on something, and then somebody might send you a message about something that just really just shifts your whole energy. So then you like, I'm trying to focus back on my work, but I'm still thinking about what they said. But if I would have never looked at it, it wouldn't have threw me off.
I'll block you quick.
Yeah.
Block.
Right? But see, the thing about it, even with you blocking them, it's like it still hits your conscience. So it's like, stay away from the phone completely until you're done. Don't let nothing trigger your thoughts, because you could be thinking about a good idea and somebody say something on your phone. You look at it, read it, and you like, what was I just thinking about?
Yeah.
Y'all probably realize, like, I'll unfollow y'all. I'll follow everybody. I'm not following anybody sometimes, and they're like, people are like, why are you unfollowing me and follow me back all the time? Because I'm so engaged. Like, I'll get on, like, I'll follow 100 people, right? I'll get on Instagram, and everybody I know is so awesome that I'm just like, oh, look at this. Oh, hey, this
Yeah,
person on
you
the
get
beach.
lost in the sauce.
And then it's like 2-3 hours later. I'm like, fuck, I can't get those hours back. Like, I just got to not follow anybody. I'll just post, do my
Yeah.
thing, and nobody exists. I'll start following hashtags of just like things that I need to know about, like tech or certain things. I won't follow people. But then when I'm out of that time where I need to like, where I can be distracted again, I start following everybody back.
Right.
I'll be like, hey, why did you unfollow me?
Hey,
Follow me back.
It ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
You
It's
good?
me.
It's for me.
Yeah.
Chris is real known by doing that. I'm
Yeah.
following everyone.
Right.
Yeah, I
But you
won't
know what?
follow.
I got like 5 to 6 different pages. So like
Yeah.
when I'm doing video work, I get on my Shoot with Sam page. This page is nothing but different videographers.
Yeah.
So when I'm on there, I don't feel distracted because I'm only in video mode. I'm only seeing other video creators. I'm only
Yeah,
seeing
it's
ideas.
inspiration.
Yeah, but my DJ Young Sam page, I got to stay away from that one because that's where all the followers is at. That's where all my main followers is at and everything. So it's so much distractions over there for you just get to flip it. So it's like, you know what? Let me get off of that. Like this Instagram is one of the biggest distractions ever.
Yeah.
Like it'll
But
have
it's
you going.
also a money-making machine. I
Yeah.
make
Right.
money off Instagram. So
Yeah.
it's like,
You got Instagram.
It's the gift and the curse.
But you got the new one. Well, it's not new, but you got the other one. It's a TikTok now.
Yeah, the
Now
Tik-
it's coming out. That shit's
Yeah,
like
I'll sit
moving.
on TikTok for a long time.
Yeah,
if I
that-
just really want
that's
to.
starting to move. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so entertaining. You just constantly flipping up, and then even with the algorithm, they knowing what you liking now. So that's how they keep you in the hole. You steady going through.
China's like putting us to, we're dancing and doing stupid stuff.
Yeah,
And everybody in China is, we're learning about like technology and science and stuff.
yeah. I heard they trying to ban TikTok.
So they're taking it out of context. So what the governor is doing is saying like, hey, you can't use TikTok on government issued devices. Meaning like if the DPS patrol officer has a government phone, he can't be doing TikToks on there like on a government phone.
Right, yeah.
They put the application on that because it opens you up to government networks, government resources, and
Right.
they start taking all that information. So you don't, like, we used to do that in the military. We used to have government devices. You couldn't put certain like applications
yeah.
or anything. We give you a base device for use of official use
Yeah.
only. And it should be like that. There's nothing
Right,
against
definitely.
that. But it's, I feel like it's media going at it and being like, oh, they're trying to ban and tell you what to do. Like, no. But if you are operating in government, capacity,
Then yes.
then
Yeah.
you should not be on TikTok. Period.
Yeah,
Anyways.
TikTok is getting out of hand though. Like you
Yeah.
seeing police officers, you seeing some of
Yeah.
everybody doing something on TikTok. So I guess it's also a community where I feel like it's just bringing people back to happiness and dancing and
Yeah.
that type of light. So I think it's necessary, but all this stuff is pretty much either you're gonna use it as a tool or it's gonna be your distraction. And a lot of times, I try to use it as my tool.
Yeah.
Like that's when you show up to work. This is one of my tools.
That's one of
This
the
is my
tools that you
promo
gotta
tools.
use, yeah.
Because you can't get up out of it. Like some people be trying to go off the radar and not have social media. It's like
I think you
these
need
days-
social media
you need it,
nowadays.
yeah.
I welcome it. I like it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I love it. I've networked a lot of people throughout the social media and everything, So I think within the business that I'm in or you're in or, of course you're in, I think the social media is a very powerful tool that we can use. So if anybody is an entrepreneur who wants to get their name known or you just want to network with other individuals, I think the social media is a very good tool.
You gotta think,
you can
so
use.
you do one thing and blow up. Just one, it's like playing the lottery. You're already doing the business. You're already doing all this stuff. Start filming it. It just takes that one right video in the algorithm to blow you up.
Right.
Why not take that risk?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're already doing it. You're already operating throughout the day. You already have your phone. You're already looking at stuff. You're already doing things. Just get comfortable and intimate with doing social media 1% of your day.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be a part of the play. And that's one thing I do. I prepare myself, so I kind of have all my posts ready.
Yeah.
So whenever I get ready to drop something, I know I'm gonna drop it all at this time. And even with the new thing they just added with the where you're able to do the scheduled post,
Yep.
that helps you out a lot too. So you won't have to worry about just being on there. Let's just say you're gonna do your deep work. You set your timer to say post it for you, and you ain't got to get on there.
Auto
But-
posting, yeah.
yeah, but you trying to get out of it, nah. you gotta do the social
you
media.
have to.
I've been doing stories that get saved to my phone, which then later on I put as a post.
Right.
So I just keep doing that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then I'll drop a reel, and then do the story, and then post, and then just
Yeah.
keep it going, just like naturally doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go and search for video or go and plan for anything. Just
Just click.
I do think they need to do like a 1 month out of the year where they shut social media down. I think
That's a
one.
lot
Shut
of
the
mon-
whole thing.
That's a lot of money.
That's
I think they're at
billions,
$1
trillions, billions.
$1 billion a
Yeah,
day in
it's a
revenue.
billion.
Yeah,
$1 billion a
in
day.
revenue.
I'm not gonna shut
Yeah.
down. If I was there, I ain't shutting down anything.
But look, when I think
Or
about
shut down
it,
your
'cause
phone.
I feel like people be getting so caught up in social media world.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just needed. Like I don't know if it need to be the month after summer where everybody that whole month just no social media work, and then everybody come back fresh.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's taking over a lot of people's mind. It's making a lot of people do crazy things. It's also doing great things, but it's also doing bad things.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people have like a lot of people is not mature enough to take a fast from certain things.
Yeah.
Like this is how you say you'll stop and you'll unfollow people. Like everybody not doing it. They're not knowing that they really
And the reason why correct me wrong, the reason why you do that is because you want to break away from just all the everybody out. Focus on you. Do that
Right.
deep work.
Mm-hmm.
Do your deep work. Then you come back, you reset yourself again. You got what you have to do. You get back in your game again, your
Yeah.
chess move. You're like, okay, now let's do some moves. Now let me start following all these people again. And then people reach back to you and say, hey, well, you're what? You're not friending me again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have a
And
strategy.
It's a good icebreaker.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I follow you back. Oh, hey, where have you been? Oh, what happened? Like, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just
Right. I'm
sorry.
I had to
Are you-
reconnect from the world.
I'm sorry. Are you traveling this summer?
You just have to just enjoy. Going back to that enjoying, man.
yeah,
That deep work
enjoying
you do.
your work.
Enjoying
that's
it,
the
yeah.
thing. Like
I'm doing
If you stressing out and you're having anxious and anxiety because you're doing all that deep work, bro, maybe not to be doing those deep work.
yeah,
You
it
gotta
might not be
stop
the work that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need to go to deep thought, deep therapy.
Yeah.
yeah.
But deep work, like Sam was saying, you got to get in that zone and deep work, and then to hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, something disconnect yourself completely. What Chris does, and then getting back on the track again and putting that work that you did for the past 2, 3, 4 days and hours that you put into it. But if you have anxiety and you're stressing out and you're frustrated and you're not in peace of yourself, then maybe that deep work that you're doing is really not deep work. Maybe it's a stress that you're putting yourself into because you're trying to figure out how to do the big next move. You
Yeah.
know, so
But sometimes deep work can be personal too. I think I do a combination of that, like spending time with my kids, making time for myself. Like I want to be present with them too, and I make
Right.
time for that. Like after this, I got to go pick up them up. Like
Yeah.
go do some deep work with them. Look at them in the face for like hours at a time and play trains and do all these things.
Right.
hey, and believe it or not, the deep work is going with your kids too, man. You got to
Yeah.
put that time with them too.
And they
It's
pay
like-
attention to you
Yeah.
not paying attention to them.
Yeah, you got disconnect and say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
All right, now I was gonna focus on you.
But also too, even managing relationships, like sometimes I stop and start hanging out with people that are not like in my circle, friends that I've had extended friendships, and try to revisit those, and or even sometimes cut off relationships. Take time to go in and be present with somebody and say, hey, like this isn't working. Our friendships are. You're on a completely different mindset and track.
Right.
I still love you, but this is not. I can't keep.
Exactly.
Can't keep associating with you.
And that's maturity. A lot of people
Yeah.
can't be mature to where they able to have those conversations where it's like, hey, we might have a good drink together or whatever, go out a couple places, but for me to be around you all the time, it's
Yeah.
not good for my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crucial conversations.
Yeah.
Definitely. And a lot of people run from 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. As an entrepreneur, it's like you said, we got to let people. You got to disconnect some people out of your inner circle. You got to pick the right ones in your inner circle, because sometimes when you have the wrong people in your circle, that's a very draining and
draining your energy.
Yeah, your energy, and then you can't go back and it's like why do I talk to these people? Sometimes it's best just to shut that chapter and let it go. You don't even reopen that chapter. And like you were saying earlier, like, hey, I revisit old friends and everything else. I me personally, I've closed a lot of chapters that I don't longer open anymore.
Yeah, and I learned that too. Going back to old things. Let's just say when I first started my health journey, I was going to a certain park. And like once I went to that park, that's the park that built me up as far as like my exercising every day. So when I started going to a new park, this is like me on my new journey of working out. So when I went back to the old park and I didn't feel that same feeling, I didn't feel like I wanted to be there no more. I feel like I've grown this park already. So it's like going back to old things. Once that time didn't pass, it's like ain't no need to go there. It's time to open up a whole new chapter. Keep
Open
going
up
forward.
and just moving forward. You
Yeah.
know.
Old relationships, you be thinking like, hey, you know, I ain't got nobody right now. I think I need to go back and
Hey,
go try to start.
what's up? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Hey, I got short term memory. Like, hey, remember we used to be. No,
No,
Yeah.
I remember, man.
new things. Be
Yeah,
on the new things.
shut chapters. You know, I believe in shutting chapters, especially if just in any. It doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. Just in general and all. If the chapter already shut, leave it closed. Don't even
Yeah.
open the book back up. You know, you do is it's going to be a chaos. So you gotta learn from it, a lesson from it, and if you had good memories, great. If you didn't have good memories, great too. You know.
Yeah.
If it's draining, leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone.
I think sometimes we forget there's 8 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's a lot of people.
a very lot.
I say you network. I say you constantly got to need network and network with all types of people. It doesn't matter who they are, what they do, but well, it's not what they do. It's who they are and how their mindset is.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to meet just everybody and that person's a negative person of the they can be, get away from them. But if that person's, hey man, I like your vibe, dude. What's up, man? What do you do? And you're just networking. I think the networking is a really important thing in the industry that I'm in, you're in, and I believe you're in. And you know, whoever's listening to us, is network is the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you're not networking, you know,
But it's also networking within your
in
lane.
your field, in your
Yeah.
field.
Like, I'm not trying to network. I'm not going to try to go know Snoop Dogg. Like,
I'm not either.
I'm not. Why I don't need
Yeah.
to do that. Like,
It's
but
the
I do.
wisdom.
I mean, it would be pretty cool, man. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, man? What's up, Snoop? Yeah, but
Right.
but am I gonna hang out with the guy and I'm gonna do network? It's like, hey, man, I mean, you're in that industry.
Yeah.
I'm in this industry. It's cool that I know you, Pound It. What's up, man? But it's
Yeah.
not someone that I'm gonna be doing.
Now, like the head for me would be like the head of hospitality of like the world, right? Like that would be like, wow, that's like Michael Jackson to me. You know,
Right.
like it's like this guy is amazing, and I've started to. I didn't even realize, and I know this, but I haven't really been putting it into practice until recently. Like I've been trying to look for people in my industry that are just like the heavy hitters. Like, who am I replacing? Like, what am I doing? I'm doing hospitality, but am I doing it at the level that is at the highest level? No, I'm not. And I had to sit down and look in the mirror and say, okay, well, who are these people? And I started looking them up on YouTube and other places and other things, and I started listening to what they're saying. And the stuff that they're saying like resonates with me so much that I was like, I want to know these people because I want to be this person one day. And we got to look for idols and mentors in this way in our industry so we can move towards them because we need to advance their way of thinking. And
Right.
you're supposed to do that. Like I've had mentors that, you know, have shown me certain things and I've outgrown them. That doesn't mean I don't love them still and are just like they've helped me propel me past them.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and I've always reached back and talked to them, and like, I'm still grateful all the time for these people, but that's what you're supposed to do, and then you're supposed to return the favor to those that are coming up, and they're gonna pass you up, and
Right,
and it's
exactly.
just a progression
That's just how
within
it's
your
supposed to
industry.
go. That's
Yeah.
how you pretty much pushing the human race further anyway.
Right.
Like I had a couple mentors, DJ Chill, Killer Calion, like a lot of people, Ray Face, and it's like each one of them taught me something. So of course I went on and carried the torch to go further.
You know, I think it's like you said right now. You try to bring all these individuals together, and sometimes they're not on the same level, or they think they're better than this individual, or they think they have they're better on something, doing something. You know, they're always competing. It's more the more the ego. You know, it's like more like
ego.
the ego. There is it's more the
ego
ego.
is the enemy.
Yeah.
Man, that's so true.
Well, I'll put it like this. And sometimes people say, you got to kill that ego. No, bro, you don't have to kill it. You have to learn. This is what I believe.
Yeah.
You know, this is my belief. You have to learn how to walk next to him or next to her. And use it because you still need that.
You still need
you
it.
still need it. That brings that in you.
But it shouldn't fuel your life and run
Right.
your life, and
Yes.
shouldn't like be.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing.
Because if the ego take over you, that's when
Bro, you
things start
gone.
really.
You gone, man. You gone.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
I made that mistake yesterday, man. I got out of character with somebody, like, and my ego took over, and I was so disappointed in myself, because I'm kind of a little bit of a hothead. I just am. I'm gonna admit it. I get.
You
here.
are?
Yeah, you're right.
Really? I didn't even know that.
I mean, 20 years in the military does something to you, right? Everybody's
Right.
I'm like, ah, you know, not that bad.
I thought he was like a peaceful man and everything, all about
Right.
peace and love.
What is it, like a Charmin?
The
or
Hulk
whatever?
comes out.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And people aren't really ready for it when it happens, because it's usually like 0 to 60 in like 1.2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's like afterwards, I'm like, I did it again.
But you know what? When you think about those, when it happens with those type of people, it's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I gotta watch out for you because you triggered something in me that I don't want to come out.
My spirit does not like you.
Right. So it's like either we gonna get this under control or I gotta get you out the way because I don't want to go there.
Dude, there's certain types of character that I've been away from for so long that when I'm around it, man, it gets me going. And then because those characters will challenge your peace, and I'm a big believer of I work so hard on my peace that I'm very hesitant to hand it over to people.
Right.
But man, some people know the combination. There's like.
It's like, God damn, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, for real.
Start fucking throwing chairs.
Yeah. I think I've been there. I've dealt with a lot of groups. You bring a lot of people together and you try to work with everybody together. Man, it's two things, man. Like you align with us, and if it doesn't, then may God bless you and everything. But you got to go. And when you try to get all these individuals to work, and then you got one or two or three against, it's like, okay, why? And if their idea is not solid, or they're not coming with the good information on the table, it's like, hey bro, it's not gonna happen. We need to go this route. And if they're still not understanding, it's like it's like, for example, I don't get angry. I'm more like, hey, you know what? It's not gonna work, man.
Right.
It's hard for me to be like, rah.
It takes a lot for me to get.
It takes like. Man, people that do know me, and whoever's listening to it, who I am, is it takes a lot for me to get angry. I have the most patient of all patient.
Now with my guys, I don't get like that. But I feel like it's just with other people that just kind of like come in a room, a bunch of A types together. Like all of us are pretty much A type. We're not. Maybe some of them are more chest beating than others, but we're all like get it done type. Like we're not gonna talk about this and like, oh, maybe one day. Like we're okay. What would you say? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go do this right now. But then when you have somebody coming in that just doesn't think that way, but then they try to be this way, and they use their insecurities like against you, and they say certain things, and you're just like, huh? What do you say?
What?
What? Say it again.
So, but like again, like you said, you have to. I think the number one is just being patient.
Yeah,
that's being patient
Count to 10.
and learning how to work. It's like, okay. I used once upon a time I used to have a very short temper. I started reading, I started working. I was like, I got to work on this. This is something that is killing my
opportunity.
This is my opportunity. It's killing my opportunity because maybe that individual has something that you don't, Sam. And I always tell myself that. Maybe he has something. Let's listen to that individual. He or she listen to them before you even react. Because before I would listen to it and I would catch something and I'll be like, oh no, man, that's it, man. This guy's trying to fuck me over. This guy's trying to do this, trying to do that. And then I started going to the crazy as delusion where it's like, bro, really? Calm down, listen to the person
Making
before
assumptions.
you react. And trust me, I was a person that was very taking an assumption like, oh no, man, that guy's up to no good.
Yeah, he know what he's doing.
It's like rah. So sometimes it's best to just, hey, listen to that individual, listen where they're coming from, because maybe they don't know how to transfer the information correctly.
Yeah. And the thing about too is like with your team, when you got a good team, you able to talk to them and tell them certain things. They're gonna be mad at themselves for not being for not doing something right, other than you happen to yell at them. And that's the type of people you want. Is more so they got their own self accountability. So I ain't got to tell you need to do this. It's more so, hey, you messed it up. Yeah, I know. Let me go and fix it. Like I like those type of people instead of somebody feeling like, well, I was gonna do this, or giving you a rebuttal behind this. Like take the criticism and run with it, and then make it happen.
I've always felt like the practice of do not listen to respond. Like listen, be present,
right?
Hear them, and then respond. And doing that with them, like as a leader, is very important. And I've had success with that because I get to hear them, versus like saying, okay, you're talking, now I'm going to respond. Which I actually do that all the time. Definitely, I've definitely done.
Yeah, it's active listening.
Active listening. Basically,
letting everybody hear what they say first, and then you're gonna come with your words based off of what they saying. Because sometimes you can be sitting there waiting on your turn. Like double dutch, like when am I gonna get ready to talk?
You're like okay, I'm about to tear you up right now. I'm about to tell you that.
And it's like we trying to make an understanding right now. We can only make an understanding by bouncing off each other's conversation and then coming to a meeting.
It's just really important. This is one thing I've learned is listen to your people. That's one. You must listen to exactly what their wants and their needs are. If you're just a person that's listening to your people, but you're already approaching them and attacking them, and no, you can't do it like this, not the way it is. Well,
Right.
I've learned is like, hey, first, Sam, you gotta pay attention, listen to your people first, and then find out if it's even the correct way. And if it's not, then solve the problem. Like, look, this is the reason why you need to do this. Like this. Oh, okay, okay. And one thing that I've learned is that me personally, I mean, I would like just automatically attack. It's like because I already knew what I wanted and what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes by doing that, it would get them in a bad attitude, a bad mode, where they're just like, you know what, just forget about it, or they'll just like,
Right.
they'll just agree with me. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to
All
get
right.
it over with.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Being passive.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yes.
I'm like, bro, it's like, and then I catch myself like, you're not allowing that your people to speak out.
Yeah.
Because they feel you're more superior, so they just submit and just say, oh, okay, all right, okay,
Right.
all right.
You don't want that.
They just going along with you, and,
Yeah.
and like you said, you don't want that. And I've learned that in the past, where it's like, hey, listen to your people, let's hear their opinion, so what they can become better. Let them do the work,
Yeah.
and then teach them, guide them of where there needs to be at. You know, it's
Right.
like, okay, like just like mentoring them, like, all right, this is how you do it, all right.
Yeah, that's
But
how you
allow them to
stay
do it.
hands off.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's also recognizing your authority. Like, you know, even as a man, like a lot of men don't even recognize their authority these days, like, and how powerful you are, and what the impact of your words are. And then when we don't take accountability of that and having a company, you know, we don't use or move correctly within our own organization. We don't step into our leadership roles completely. And it's hard to be a leader and to move people and to see vision through if you don't step into your role. Like you have authority, you had an idea, and you brought it to fruition. Like it's here. Like you've got to step into the role and understand and discover what that is. Like look to other people like who've done well or have failed or whatever they're doing. Like somebody, your peer might have that same impact on you. It's like, hey, like, you're stepping in your role. Like, how did you get here? What did you do? What changes did you make? Like, who's around you? And I think we don't have these conversations enough with, you know, other leaders, or especially men have a lot of hard times coming into that role. I feel like a lot of women entrepreneurs go into the authority faster than men that I've seen lately. And I think it's important that we showcase and teach people, male and female, to kind of women and men to kind of go into that identity.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. So deep work,
Yeah, it is deep
picking
work.
the right people,
Yep.
being able to talk to your people. So yeah, man.
And you know, and leadership. And
Yeah.
leadership is one
Great
of them.
leadership.
You know, if you want to get into the leadership world and everything, it's listen to your people. You know, put your ego aside. Learn, you know, to use it. You don't remember. You had just listen to them, because you never know, your people can have the right answer for you. It's like, wow, okay. Instead
Yeah.
of just reacting very fast and getting angry, or no, that's not how you do it. Just listen to them out before you talk, because a great leader will listen to their people.
Yep.
Right. Definitely. So appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Time Podcast. I'm
Yeah.
goddamn Sam.
I'm Sam Nunez.
And I'm Christopher Lopez.
All right, guys,
We out.
we're out.
Right.